How's it going, Ram fans? My name is Madeline Davis, and welcome back to Thursday Night Sports. Tonight, I'll preview softball's upcoming road series in Boise, plus updates on the transfer portal. Is CSU basketball gaining or losing? You'll find out more on Thursday Night Sports, which starts right now. As of a couple days ago, it is officially spring, which means spring sports are in action. And that includes one of my personal favorites we offer here on campus, softball. The Rams just kicked off Mountain West play with a series win against the reigning champs, the San Diego State Aztecs. If you tuned in on Tuesday, you heard all about that electric weekend. But now it's time to move past and focus on what's ahead, a strong Boise State squad. While the Rams have been playing very well as of late, this series is going to be their first big road test of the season. When looking at the preseason polls, Boise was seeded as the favorite to win the Mountain West, inching out SDSU by 1 vote. And over a month in, the Broncos already flash a compelling record, currently sitting at 16-10 with 7 of their 10 losses coming against ranked opponents. They absolutely dominate teams outside the top 25 and ride an 8-game win streak at the moment. This due in part to several solid bats in their lineup. Junior infielder Autumn Bennett definitely stands out when viewing the stats for Boise. She's currently leading the Mountain West in batting average at .429 with 24 hits and 56 at-bats. That's a pretty impressive stat if you ask me. And then down a couple spots is teammate Kelsey Hall, who's 5th in average, but what's really alarming about her is her 20 RBI. Having Hall in the cleanup spot is nerve-wracking for sure, and it's only worse when you have Bennett leading things off. But while these are undoubtedly impressive numbers, the Rams have some impactful players of their own. Senior Nellie Cerner boasts the Rams' highest batting average at .378, knocking in 28 runs, which ranks 2nd in the conference. We also can't forget to mention that she is a bit of a beast in the circle as well, registering a .329 ERA as the Rams' go-to reliever. Another notable name is fellow senior Peyton Allen, who's leading the league in long balls with 12. To put this into perspective, if Allen was playing in the MLB, she'd be on pace to break Barry Bonds' single-season home run record by 8. Needless to say, she's the perfect power hitter with a pretty good eye at the plate, forcing 16 walks, which leads the team. Overall, we should be in for a good matchup this weekend. Boise has strong bats, but the Rams are a bit better in the circle. Expect close games and a lot of passion for both sides. The series will kick off tomorrow at 4. And like I said earlier, it's officially spring. So that means we've finally escaped basketball, right? Well, not quite yet. Mike and Leah broke down both the men's and women's seasons on Tuesday, which included talking about bubble players and their looming decisions. Well, since that show aired, 2 Rams have formally announced their verdicts for next year, McKenna Hofschild and John Tonje. Let's start with the good news. Earlier this week on Wednesday, McKenna Hofschild announced via Instagram that she would officially be returning in a post saying, "Be back next year at CSU women's basketball." This is huge news for the Ram fans and helps keep the future for this team bright. The women ended their season with a 20-12 overall record, which did include a run to the WNIT for the 2nd year in a row. Unfortunately, that game did not end how Ram fans were hoping, but a large part of that was due to the fact that Hofschild was out with a broken foot. To say McKenna was the Rams' most impactful player on the court this season, and perhaps the past 3, would honestly be an understatement. She averaged a little over 20 points and 7 assists per game. That is an almost unreal stat. She has an impeccable ability to drive the ball to the hoop, yet also play selfless ball, something a lot of players can't do, and she does all of this at only 5'2". Hofschild had one of the greatest seasons in Ram history, which included winning Mountain West Player of the Year, breaking records that were set by arguably the greatest Ram athlete of all time, Becky Hammon, AP All-America honors, and she's also a finalist for the Nancy Lieberman Award, which is awarded to the best women's point guard in the country. This is a huge deal for the Rams and sets head coach Ryan Williams up for another winning season. The men also have a star point guard who we're waiting to hear from in Isaiah Stevens, but in the meantime, CSU fan favorite John Tonje made his decision public yesterday morning via Instagram as well, and unfortunately, it's not the news we were seeking. Tanjay announced he will be entering the transfer portal using a graphic that said, "Thank you, Coach Ali and Medved and the entire staff for believing in me and giving me a chance to play at this level. I would like to thank the fans, supporters, and donors for all of the support over the years. With that being said, I have decided that it is best for me to enter the transfer portal for my last year of eligibility. Thank you. Signed, John." Tanjay played with the Rams for all 4 years of his undergrad and established himself as a nice role player for CSU. Over the course of the season, he averaged close to 15 points per game, nearly 5 rebounds, and shot almost 50% from the field. Overall, this was Tanjay's best collegiate season, peaking towards the end. Realistically, Tanjay could see himself in a similar role at another mid-major or in the rotation at a bigger Power 5. It will be interesting to see where he ends up, but regardless, he will always be a Ram, and I will definitely never forget when he dropped 31 points on Oral Roberts to open up the 2021-22 season. Don't worry too much, though. We're not the only school to lose a player or two in the portal. I mean, look at Wyoming. They've lost 3 guys just this week. And well, Ram fans, that's all the sporting news I have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in to Brandon's comprehensive and spectacular Tuesday show for more on CSU athletics.